Hi, everyone. Welcome to our parent education session for today. Today, we are going to be talking about sensorial education. If it hasn't been in the hand or the body, it can't be in the brain. This quote by longtime NAEYC member and early childhood advocate Bev Boss sums up perfectly the idea of using the senses to learn. Maria Montessori also knew this, hence the sensorial area of the classroom. Many times we think of sensory play as something that should be experienced outdoors. Shaving cream, water play, mud puddles, paint. I agree. I tried to keep these messy experiences in a place where I could hose off the ground and my child. Maybe you, like me, grew up in a time where we were pushed out the door and told, go play. And we did. No fancy toys for me. Rocks, sticks, abandoned boards, whatever I could find. These were always so much fun and really sparked the imagination. Sensory exploration just happens naturally outdoors. But as the weather is getting colder, should sensorial experiences go away? Not at all. Children are natural scientists. Their curiosity leads to touching, tasting, smelling, and experimenting with things. I have a picture of my daughter, around a year old, and she's sitting in a flower bed, or flower pot, actually, at her school with dirt around her mouth. Yep, my little flower is indeed growing. To understand the world around them, children must experience it physically. Ever tell your child the pan is hot? Many, many times, and they touch it anyway? Of course they did. They do not understand what the concept is until it is experienced. Do we hurt when our child hurts? Yes. But without the experience, a child is ignorant of the concept. Then teach your child to go and cut off some aloe vera from the plant and treat their finger. Sensorial exploration enhances cognitive, social, emotional, and behavioral development, as well as laying the foundation for the learning of physical sciences. Solid, liquid, gas, anyone? So here are a few suggestions for indoors this winter that might be helpful and fun things for you to do with your child. So for smell, I really love just allowing your child to explore the spices and herbs in your kitchen. So my daughter used to pull them all out, line them up perfectly. She is a Montessori child, and then put them back in after smelling them. But naming those is also really important. This smells different. What is this? Oh, this smell is cinnamon. Can you say cinnamon? That's a hard word for a toddler, of course, right? Maybe even taste it. The best Christmas present that my daughter ever received was probably her set of test tubes that were in the holder, and the pipettes and the beakers. And we initially used those for color mixing. This is something that happens in the Montessori classroom, and we wanted to do at home also. But she also used to like to use them for tasting experiments. So she would pick a bunch of liquids out of the refrigerator, one for each of the test tubes, and she would use the pipette to suck them up and taste them. This was hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. It's one of the most fun things that we probably could have done. For touch, keeping Play-Doh on an art shelf and tools with it, such as a rolling pin and cookie cutters, leads to a lot of creativity, and it's sensorial, and it builds strength in the hands. I don't know how you feel about slime in your house, but this is also a wonderful sensorial experience, especially if you guys make it yourselves. It's a favorite in our house. For the sense of sight, the color mixing that I mentioned before is really good. It is a primary lesson in our classrooms. We also have color boxes. And so these are great for games at home, such as the Bring Me game and I Spy. So you can say, I spy something that is red, and the child has to guess. Or you can play the Bring Me game. Please bring me something that is green, and the child goes and gets it. Now, what happens if they bring you the wrong color? Oh, you brought me this ball that is blue. This is blue. Can you please find me something that is green? So then color box 3 is really, really amazing. I wanted to show you guys what it looks like. It's a gradation of color. So in this exercise, this is the third exercise in colors. Children have to place the colors in gradated order from darkest to lightest or lightest to darkest. So we're seeing a lot of subtleties, and we're learning that there are different shades of the same color. So one of the things I really like to do with this then is use fabrics. So if you go over to a big fabric store such as Joann's, there are amazing colors out there, right? So you can go down the aisles looking, and they actually have them in color order, right? So if you go to the cotton section, all the different shades of yellow are together, all the shades of green are together. And so you can look at that different gradation of color. You can talk about patterns. What a great way to look at sight. And then we can incorporate touch because of all of the different textures of different fabrics. Also in the Montessori classroom is a fabric box. Some of them even have more than one. So in this one, I have smooth satin. And we have soft felt. This one is very interesting. I can see through it. Tulle. Oh, and the suede has an interesting texture. So this is something you can also do in the fabric store, is just walk around to the different types of fabric, touching them and naming them. Ask your child to describe it. Does that feel smooth or rough? Is it soft or crisp? All of these are going to build such a rich vocabulary in your child's mind that we all know the more vocabulary they experience younger, that follows them later in their academic career all the way up. One of the best things about this type of important development, the sensorial development in the child, is that it can be free. You can walk through the fabric store. You can look at the things you're going to be throwing out, egg cartons, bubble wrap, etc., right? There's so many ideas out there. If you can't think of them on your own, look at Pinterest. So many ideas. So I really encourage you to start creating some wonderful sensorial things at home for your child to experience. Have fun.